good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. It sure is, isn't it, Bob? Yes, it is. I'm feeling the Jar of Marble blue. Thank you, Bob. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about never hide your magic. I recall a situation, a time in my life when I had really bad news, and it was the kind of news that just sort of stops you right in your tracks. And we've all experienced that. We sure have. Suddenly the colours of your immediate world change and the days of the week no longer have any meaning. Everything in that news, we receive means that our life is going to be forever changed in some way. Most of us have been through that or going through it. Either way, it's a leveller, is it not? It sure is. For some, in a magical imagination, there are magical creatures, mythological beings that light up many of our lives. For some, it is a profound secret. It is something that means something, to us that makes us feel better, or somewhere we can escape to, whether it be movies, whether it be whatever it be, fantastic escapism, a delicious obsession. And hell, why not? Maybe it is preferred to hide your magic, but I believe don't at the very least hide it from yourself. Deny your interest, your belief. Who gives a hoot what the Joneses think? Not I. Bloody correct, Bob. So your news, your bad news. Right, Bob. Right, okay, thanks. So I had this news and it was initially very unsettling, threw me right out of my centre. And while I knew on a physical level what was occurring, I asked myself, what is the deeper lesson? What is the deeper expression? Is there in this? What am I not looking at or not seeing? Can I look at this from a more magical point of view? The type of thinking that is not encouraged, to think right outside of our very limited boxes. Don't even think that there are even boxes to, step out of. So more focused thinking. I call it magical, call it what you will. It's so powerful and self-loving an act to truly care about yourself while navigating a shitstorm. And as Maya Angelou said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. Now, that is something that is not modelled very often in our lives, is it? And further to that, I don't think that enough know that they can choose it. Many more know this for a fact. They do. I'd just love to know that more know this. I would love that. And as Alice Walker said, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Wow, I know. What makes you different or weird? That's your strength. That was said by Meryl Streep. How many of us have been branded weirdos? Lordy, I know I've been called a few names in my life, strange, weird, crazy, different. In a lot of cases, it's just been some ding-dong who thinks that they're, trying to embarrass me or sort me out. And as my mother said about anyone trying that with me, she'd say, the best of British, and she'd actually laugh. But back in the day when I was a little puppy, people tried to manage me at different times, as different people do to us in our lives, don't they? And it was just quite a waste of time. It didn't defy, I didn't even intend to be defiant, but it turns out that I actually was. And just because I just took offence to anyone thinking that they were going to offend me and think they were going to get away with it. I was just I was a passionate little kid. I just didn't want to cooperate with them. I didn't want to be like them, lifeless and flaccid like a... No, don't say it. Okay then, but you hear me? Oh, we hear you. No, hold on. It is pointless to suppress who you are. It will leak out and make a mess. So you just need to be yourself. As a young woman, even when I was a kid, I had my own way about me. I can see it clearly now that I'm at the other end of the scale. I was happily outrageous for no other reason than breathing. I am a free spirit. So don't hide your magic. Maybe you don't call it magic, but for today, let's just call it your magic. That which makes you distinctly you. People always think others are more distinctive. They've got more personality, better looking, got better boobs. Really? I don't know, just got it going on. They who think that everyone else has got the magic do not realise that they too have the magic and everyone can see it. We just tend to, as a society, we just tend to not tell each other. We girls have it slapped hard into our DNA to cooperate and not have a differing opinion or be too different. And I say, poppycock. Be as different as you can be. The world sure needs more of it. Now that I'm as old as shit, I get to be truly kind to myself. I have zero tolerance or desire to be around anything that displeases me or makes me sad. I just won't deal. And what would I be doing? I would be wasting my time. And as you get older, time becomes a real commodity. You never know when we're going to shuffle off this mortal coil.
Well, yeah, you really are as old as buggery.
I am, Bob, thanks.
Real old.
When you've lost a lot of people, you really treasure the shortness of your life.
Shortness?
Like, wow, it's a blowout how fast life goes. And when you're at the pointy end, it's a slippery slope.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just be you. All of you. It is a wonderful thing to witness someone in all their glory and utterly just themselves. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love it. As long as they're being kind and fun and open. Yes, I just need to stress that because I do know some people who are completely and utterly themselves and they're mean as shit. The concept of hiding one's magic can be explored in various ways. In some narratives, magic users might go into hiding to avoid persecution or to live peacefully without the fear of being discovered. This could be due to historical conflicts or societal views that see magic as a threat or something to be controlled. On the other hand, there are also songs and poems that encourage people to embrace their unique abilities and not to hide their magic. It's a rich topic that can be interpreted in many different contexts, from fantasy literature to personal growth and self-expression. Maybe by hiding your magic, you have a box of unshared poems that will only be found once you've climbed off this side of life.
You're really onto that today, aren't you?
I am. I bet so many would love to hear or read your poetry, as an example. Many paint and don't because of reasons that are simply hard to hear. I know someone who's a talented painter but doesn't paint because she believes she doesn't have the time. And boy, that's something she actually has. She has lots of time. There are many of us out there hiding their magic because, for example, when she was painting, she was full of glee. She was full of magicalness. She showed us a side of her that was not obvious in her day-to-day. It was a real pleasure for all of us. Now she denies, sadly, mostly herself, the happiness, and she is actually a really unhappy woman. Hopefully she will find her way out. I and others have repeatedly, we've tried to pull her out, but nope, no way. Won't be having it. Nope, not having it. When we stop our creativity, we run the risk of drying up and ultimately denying ourselves joy. Man, deny ourselves joy. Who does that? Well, we know people do. There is an emotional cost to hiding who you are. For so many I know, it isn't walking down the main street in your undies. I'm talking more to the side of yourself that comes out when no one is around. Be obedient, study, work, get married, have children, get a mortgage, watch the TV, ask for loans, buy many things, and above all, do not ever question what they have told you that you have to do, said George Carlin. Wasn't he brilliant? We live in a society that, although it seems increasingly permissive and liberal, continues to judge each of our actions, thus conditioning our way out of being and acting. Sometimes that social pressure becomes so strong that we can feel obliged to hide who we are, characteristics that define us, but that we believe for one reason or another do not fit into the environment perhaps in which we live. Psychologists at the University of Southern Illinois warn us that maintaining a hidden identity has a high emotional cost, a cost that may not be worth paying. The risks of hiding who you are to try to fit in. We can have two identities, one visible and the other hidden. There are things practically impossible to hide that in one way or another make up our identity. Such is the case of our ethnic origin, sex and stature. There are also personality characteristics that are difficult for us to hide, such as, say, extroversion or shyness. And all these characteristics, added to those that we glimpse without problems, make up our visible identity which the others perceive. We also have characteristics that we do not want to reveal, such as our sexual orientation, some mental disorders, certain motivations, or that we belong to a religious group. These characteristics make up our hidden identity. So there are many reasons that lead us to want to hide aspects of ourselves. We can think, for example, that those who make up our social network will reject us if they know the truth, or maybe we just want to avoid conflicts because we know that they think completely differently to ourselves. I didn't really experience that until I was much older, where I had interests that were not of interest to the people who I really love and are in my life, because they are fabulous people. But I have almost hidden interests simply because it is not anything that they are interested in. So I had to wake up to myself and reawaken my magical interest, because it was fundamentally part of who I am. Perhaps we feel obliged to hide certain aspects of our identity because they represent a social stigma, or simply because we want to continue enjoying certain privileges that would be prohibited to our authentic identity. A study conducted at the University of Southern Illinois revealed that people with visible stigmas such as gender, race, or disability, according to the cultural context in which they live, are always exposed. So they are forced to prepare themselves psychologically to manage these harmful social interactions. Here are some inspiring quotes about showing who you truly are. This is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. It's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I really like that.
I know. And another one here by Veronica Tagaleva. You'll never know who you are unless you shed who you pretend to be. Ooh. And this one by Hannah Hart. Nobody is wired wrong because there's no wrong and right in the way we are. And that is so, so true. This saying by Jeff Moore. Being yourself means shedding all the layers of looking good, wanting to be liked, being scared to stand out, and trying to be who you think people want you to be. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. And that by Mary Ann Radmacher. These quotes remind us of the importance of authenticity and the courage it takes to be true to ourselves. They encourage us to embrace our uniqueness and not be swayed by external pressures or expectations. Being different and unique may seem scary at first, but it can also be your greatest source of strength.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must not be afraid of your uniqueness, and you must care less and less what other people think of you. This by author Robert Greene. Totally agree with him. And another one by Alice Walker. We are the ones we have been waiting for. So true. It's so true. So embracing your unique magic, the art of authentic expression in a world where conformity often feels like the safest path. Choosing to embrace and showcase your unique magic is an act of courage. It's about allowing the world to see how much or little and appreciate the qualities that make you uniquely you, rather than hiding behind a facade of normalcy. This concept, not hiding your magic, encourages individuals to step into their true selves and share their distinctive talents, passions, and perspectives with the world. But what does it mean to not hide your magic?
Oh, yeah, I was really wondering that.
Oh, shut up, Bob. Authenticity over conformity any day. Embracing your magic means valuing yourself over your true self, over fitting into societal expectations. Societal expectations, most of them are unrealistic and they just suck. It's about understanding that your unique quirks and your abilities and ideas are your greatest assets.
Hey, did you hear about the magic tractor? You went down the road and turned into a field.
It's not bad, Bob.
Yeah, I thought so.
Another is celebrating your individuality. Every person possesses a unique set of skills, experiences, and viewpoints. We know this. And by celebrating and sharing these individual traits, we contribute to just a much more richer, more diverse world. And I have always loved that about this world.
Hey, A lumberjack went into a magic forest to cut a tree. Upon arrival, he started to swing at the tree when it shouted, "Wait, I'm a talking tree!" The lumberjack grinned and said, "And you will die a log."
Good one, Bob. You know, with courageous self-expression, it takes bravery to express your true self. It really does, especially in environments that may favour everyone just all being the same. Not hiding your magic involves standing tall in your own uniqueness and allowing your true colours to shine. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Me too.
That's right. Empowering others. When you embrace and showcase your true self, your magic, who you are, you empower others. You give others the courage and maybe even the permission to be able to loosen up a little bit and just be themselves and show their own uniqueness as well. And of course, the benefits of embracing your own magic is that beautiful personal fulfillment. Living authentically leads to greater satisfaction and happiness. When you align your actions with your true self, you experience just such a profound sense of fulfillment. Genuine connections. By being your true self, you attract people who appreciate and resonate with who you are. And this leads to deeper, more meaningful relationships, which is so, so very, very true.
But how do you start embracing your magic?
Well, how do you utilise your magic? Not say only when you're on holiday, for example. You know, a lot of time people don't allow themselves to be really free and open to happiness and having fun. Sometimes it's the only time they can. They feel that it's the only time they can. So I would say, you know, it's got to be self-discovery. You've really got to get to know you, spending time understanding, you know, what your passions and your strengths are. And I have found that, you know, if you were to ask someone that straight out, you know, what do you really want to do? They'll just go, "Oh, yeah, I want to win lotto." That's right. Or, "Yeah, I just want to get a better job." Or they might just give some answer that doesn't really knock on what they really want to do. I find you've just got to use more reallys. Like, what do you really, really, really want to do? And if you really, really, really are asking that question, it's quite interesting what people will say, because it's asking them to ask themselves on a deeper level, you know, okay, what would I really love to do? Journaling is another great thing. Meditating, seeking feedback from trusted friends can really just help in this discovery process. And while you're doing that, you've got to accept all your imperfections. Accept yourself fully, all of it, all of it, all of it. We live in a time now where who you are is perfect enough. Perfect, beautiful, lovely, all of it. Unique and valuable. And don't be afraid to share your skills and your passions with the world. Whether through your work, your hobbies, your interactions, it's time, and I hope that you are. And if you are, great, good on you. Continue to just let your unique abilities shine. Hey, Bob, what do you call a magician that lost his magic? Ian.
I don't get that.
Well, magician, knock out the magic, the word magic, and you're left with the letters IAN at the end of it. Forget it. You know, the really important thing moving on is, you know, surrounding yourself with supportive people, challenging yourself, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit and taking risks that align more with, you know, who you are, trying new things, and not hiding your magic is a journey of self-discovery for sure. It's not something that you do in an afternoon. Acceptance and a more bolder self-expression. It's about shedding the layers of conformity and stepping into your true potential. And by embracing and showcasing your unique magic, you not only enrich your own life, but you just contribute to a more diverse and dynamic world. And being true to yourself is a noble pursuit, I would say. But in a world where conformity often reigns, this path can sometimes be misunderstood and misjudged. And the phrase "being so true to yourself you could be seen as selfish" encapsulates a delicate balance between authenticity and societal expectations, where the pursuit of personal truth can clash with the desire to fit in or to appease others. Ooh.
I know. Yeah. Being seen as selfish has had bad press.
So true, Bob. Bugger that. So be true to yourself is to embrace one's own core values, your desires and identity without compromise.
Is that being authentic?
Yes, Bob, it is. It means making choices that align with your beliefs, even when these choices might not align with the expectations of others. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, it's a great pity that it has to feel like courage, but there you have it. Authenticity requires a bit of courage and resilience, as it often demands stepping away from the safety of the familiar and the approval of the majority.
We don't want your approval.
Heck no. In being true to yourself, one cultivates a deep sense of purpose. Life decisions are made from a place of genuine intent rather than external validation.
And having your own back is the most powerful feeling.
Yeah, if you want to get an addiction, have that one. Have your own back. This path often leads to greater self-awareness and inner peace because you're not constantly battling against your true nature. The perception of selfishness. When individuals prioritise their own needs and desires, it can disrupt the status quo, particularly in relationships and communities that rely on mutual support and compromise.
And what do we say?
We say poppycock. Choosing one's path might mean saying no to others' requests, pursuing goals that diverge from collective expectations.
No, Dad, I don't want to be a demigod.
That's right, Bob.
Yeah, no, Mum, I don't want to be a part-time czar.
It's so difficult when parents are laying it all out, what you're going to be, how much money it's going to cost them, what they've sacrificed for you, etc.
They mean well.
Well, not today, Buttercup. Refusing to play roles that are convenient for others but suffocating for oneself can be tough. This behaviour is often labelled as selfish because it challenges the social norms that equate self-sacrifice with virtue.
Oh, the virtue.
The shame of misunderstanding.
Oh, what a shame.
We often hear when someone is perceived to be too focused on themselves. This shame is rooted in a misunderstanding. It arises from a worldview that conflates self-care and self-actualisation with narcissism or egocentrism.
And yet, what a shame also if no one gets it.
Oh dear, how sad.
Never mind.
That's right, Bob. In reality, being true to yourself does not negate the capacity for empathy or compassion.
True words.
That's right. Rather, it enhances one's ability to engage with your whole self with the world. When individuals are aligned with their true selves, they are more likely to form genuine connections and contribute meaningfully to society, because their actions stem from sincerity rather than obligation or pretense. All the obligation, this is what stuffs people up. We all know someone, if not ourselves, who have cooperated because that's what you did. And very rarely do you hear someone say, "Oh, I'm so pleased I never found out what else I would have prepared to do with my own life." Exactly right. So if we were to reframe the narrative to navigate the fine line between authenticity and perceived selfishness, I think that it's essential to reframe how we view self-truth. And here are a couple of perspectives to consider. Self-respect versus selfishness. Embracing your truth is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It involves honouring your own needs and boundaries, which is essential for long-term well-being and, dare I say, personal growth. You've got to have healthy boundaries. By being clear about what aligns with your values and what doesn't, you create space for more honest, fun and respectful interactions. Inspiration to others. This I love. While you're madly being you in all of your colours, I just love when you embody your truth, you give permission to those around you to do the same, which is divine.
Yeah.
That's right. Balance and empathy. True authenticity doesn't dismiss others' feelings, but seeks a balance where both self and others are respected. And empathy and self-awareness are key to navigating this balance carefully. So, being so true to yourself that you could be seen as selfish is a complex but rewarding journey. It requires bravery to face the judgments of others.
Because remember, we don't care, right?
Couldn't give a fig, Bob. A bit of fortitude to stay on your own path. While it may attract misunderstanding, maybe a droplet of criticism.
Geez, Louise, how unusual. The unhappy, judgmental dinglings that actually think we care about their limited opinions.
Absolutely bang on, Bob. I hear you. You're right.
I know I'm right.
It also offers the profound reward of living a life that is genuinely your own. In the end, the shame is not in the authenticity, but in a world that too often fails to recognise the beauty and necessity of each individual's true self.
Oh, I do like me that.
Yeah, me too, Bob. And it's time.
Surely not, Poppycock.
Yes, it's time to flutter on by. The time has come.
Okay, then.
So say good day to the family for me, give the moose a snog, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.